What is going on, people? Triple M back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I would like to talk about the chaos that is Barcelona Football Club as they have officially sacked Xavi as their manager and replaced him with Hansi Flick, according to multiple reports out there. And honestly, I feel like there's so much to unpack. First and foremost, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on Barcelona's situation because I don't really watch them that often. To be honest, when I watch the La Liga, I mainly watch Real Madrid, and I've been mainly watching them and Girona this season in particular. So I don't really know much about how Barcelona are playing, what their football looks like aesthetically, and just in terms of the results. What I do know is that Xavi obviously had a trophyless season, and at a club like Barcelona or a club like Real Madrid or any one of the big clubs in Europe, when you have a trophyless season, it's not a good thing, and you're probably going to end up getting sacked, or at the very least be under a lot of pressure. However, Xavi did win the league in his first season with Barca, and this is a Barca team that had not won the league, I believe, since the 18-19 season before that. So about 3 years it had been since Barcelona had won the league before Xavi arrived a couple of seasons ago. Fast forward to where we are 12 months later. The relationship between him and Barcelona, specifically between him and the president of Barcelona, I think is probably very sour because Xavi has been done dirty. I think the biggest reason why this particular sacking is such a shock is because of the public rigmarole we've seen between Barcelona and Xavi. I mean, first Xavi announces in a press conference that he is leaving Barcelona at the end of the season and that he has made up his decision, and regardless of results, regardless of what happens in the Champions League against PSG, regardless of what happens in the La Liga with however many games were left at the time, that he is going to leave and he has made his mind up. Then a couple of months later, we're hearing that Barcelona are desperate to keep him. Despite the fact that they've started to look for managers and they've respected his decision to leave, they're now begging to keep him. They're doing everything in their power to get him to change his mind. And he does. He finally does change his mind. And then all of that just to go and sack him anyways. That is terrible, especially when you consider who Xavi is, what he means to Barcelona, both as a player and as a manager, right? This is somebody who has ties to the club. This is somebody who fans are emotionally invested in beyond him just being a manager. He is a legend of that club. Many Barcelona fans probably grew up watching Xavi, or the older Barcelona fans witnessed him. They didn't grow up watching him, but obviously in their adult life, they saw Xavi play, and now they're seeing him get treated like this. On top of everything that has happened at Barcelona over the last few years in terms of the poor financial decisions they've made and just how badly they've been run as a club, you've now got this situation with how they're treating an ex-legend. It can't feel good, but I suppose the bittersweet silver lining for Barcelona fans is the fact that they have got a bit of a managerial upgrade, because as much as I've defended Xavi in terms of how the club have treated him, there is no denying that there are massive question marks with what Xavi is doing on the pitch for Barcelona. And I think Hansi Flick is an appropriate upgrade on a manager like Xavi. In terms of the CV, in terms of managerial experience, I think Hansi Flick is up there with some of the best managers in the world, at least of the ones who are available at the moment. And there isn't really a better candidate in terms of his CV to take over Barcelona. In terms of style of play, in terms of other managerial qualities other than experience and CV, we can have a different conversation about that at another time. But Hansi Flick is a guy who I believe was the assistant manager of the German team that won the World Cup all those years ago in 2014. He was then the assistant manager of Bayern for some time, and then eventually became the head coach and led them to a treble winning season, their first Champions League in a long time, and a treble, a European treble, which for me instantly certifies you as a top elite manager, regardless of context, regardless of circumstances. The moment you lead a team to a treble, a European treble, you establish yourself as an elite manager in my books. And Hansi Flick has a lot of respect for me for what he did at Germany as an assistant coach and as a director. Maybe not so much as a manager, because things didn't work out for him recently as manager of Germany. But again, one bad job or one bad stint at a national team doesn't really change my perception of you as a club manager, especially when you've won a treble domestically or on the continent. Doesn't really matter, as far as I'm concerned. So I think Hansi Flick is an upgrade on Xavi. Despite the fact that Barcelona have handled the situation very poorly and they look like a very chaotic club at the moment, Hansi Flick might be the person to deliver them from this chaos if they can back him in the transfer window and if they can actually give him the time he needs to transform this team. Whether or not that will be the case, we'll just have to wait and see. The chaos that is Barcelona Football Club continues to move forward, and we'll just have to wait and see whether or not they can deliver themselves from this treachery. But anyways, It's been your boy Triple M. Leave a like on the video, leave a comment if you want to support the channel, and of course, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace!